offices to selling peanuts in the streets, this St. Andrew native is a successful businessman. Brian Walker is an entrepreneur and the CEO of Nuts' Streets. Through Nuts' Streets, he has been supplying people from all walks of life with authentic Jamaican treats such as coconut drops, grater cake, peanut drops, peanuts, gizzada, and so much more. Brian Walker has garnered a reputation not only for his delicious treats, but for his branding, presentation, and service. And today, on the road to success, we will journey with Brian Walker. Brian, welcome to the Easy Skanking, and thank you for taking time out of your schedule to take us on this journey with you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Kishima, for having me. And I am really happy to be on RFM, to share my story, because everybody have a story. So if it's my time to share my story, I'm ready to share it. Trust me.
No, absolutely. And we're grateful for that. But let us kick things off, Brian, with the foundation. What was it like for you growing up in Mount St. James, St. Andrew?
Mount James. It's Mount James.
Mount James, St. Andrew. Yes.
Right. All right. Life for me in Mount James, St. Andrew was just simple. My father, he was a farmer, and my mother, she do domestic jobs from different places. At one time, she was at the All-Age School, the Mount James All-Age School in Mount James, cooking lunches for the students, and she was also a vendor at the gate. So being in Mount James growing up, we have the river, we have my father's a farmer, we have the mango trees, the banana trees, the apple trees. So life was just rich. For me, life was just rich. I could just eat a mango anyhow. I could just pick an apple anyhow. Rose apple, we're talking about rose apple, star apple, OTT apple, ripe bananas. You just name the fruits that were just there, especially come on to summertime. So life for me in Mount James was just great. My grandfather, the late Willie Jackson, he was the peanut vendor, been known to persons in Mount James. He used to sell at 9 nights, Christmas parties, wedding dance. Back then, wedding dance was much prevalent, right? So he used to sell at wedding dance, and he used to sell the penny pack peanuts and so forth. So life for me in Mount James was extra. Was just great. Growing up as a child, it was just always remarkable, and I would go back and live those life over again. Trust me.
Right. Well, like you said, Brian, life growing up in Mount James, St. Andrew, it was rich. But share with us some of the core values that your parents would instill in you as a child, that now as an adult, those values still resonates with you in a big way.
All right. One of the things my mother always let us to know is that my mother especially, my father he wasn't a much talker. He was an action man. He was hardworking. He loved his children. He worked for us to make sure that we have food. My mother, on the other hand, she's very spiritual. So being kind to others, my mother would take the little that we have and give it to others. So if you think that you have a shoes already and you get a new shoes, and somebody in the community don't have a new shoes, my mother is going to take that shoes and give it to that person. So she taught us to be kind, to be loving, to be honest, and to respect everyone. So with that, even the dog on the road, sometimes I pass, go about my business, even the dog on the road, I feel like I need some morning or evening. Because that's just how my mother brought us up, to just love and to show respect. Respect was one of our biggest thing ever. She's passionate about respecting people. She's kind-hearted, and she just love to share. And my father, he was just hardworking, and he was always telling us, listen, man, don't want to come turn no cruff. That was one of his main words to us. He don't want us to come to no cruff. And we don't beg nobody nothing. So he taught us to be independent. He taught us to work with what you have. No matter how small it is, just work with it. So that was his goal.
Wow, those are some strong values.
I'm telling you.
No, so we get some insights as it relates to how you were at home and, picking fruits from the trees and so forth. But how would you describe Brian Walker in the classroom?
All right, in the classroom, for me, I was just there. At that point in time, tell you the truth, I didn't see the great need for an education, because I was just thinking about life is just so free. Life is just so free. I mean, I am benefiting from these precious stuff that God planted on the earth for us. So for me at class, I was always interested in learning to read because I get to understand from an early age that reading is very important. Because I remember one time a girl gave me a love letter and I was scrolling through it. And I decided in my mind that, listen, I have to get every word. So that love letter really pushed me to learn how to read. You understand? When I got that letter, I mean, it was just like it was like around five words on it, on the letter. And I read the letter and, you know, I had struggling. I was like around grade 3 at the time. And I said, no, man, I have to learn to read because if a girl will give me a letter, I have to read it. You understand? So from then in the classroom, I started to pay attention a little bit more. I mean, you know, I want to understand and asking a lot of questions about my environment and how things fall in place and so forth. So I started paying attention in class, I think, when I get to around grade 5 at Mount James College.
Okay. Now, as a child, did you know what career path you wanted to explore when you get older? Was that clear to you as a youth?
It was clear to me. I always enjoy seeing the police officers going about and reprimanding and upholding laws. So that was something I was thinking about to a point when I think I get around age 18. Then by 19, I changed my mind. But I was just working with whatever come my way at that point in time. But I always wanted to be a police. I think that person at some point in time used to speak it into my life. Say, you know, you could do good as a police officer, and then I started to just think about it. You understand? Yes. Yeah. Even though I would go on the road and people would just think I'm a police. I mean, especially when I get a certain haircut. That's why most of the time I just grow my hair. I cut my hair, my hairstyle that I like. People would just say, yeah, police. People just come up to me and just. I remember when my uncle died. He was a cop and he died, and I went to the funeral. And I mean, I was driving with the flying squad at the time, you know, and Bigger Ford, he was leading the flying squad. And I was in there. And when I went to that funeral, everybody thought I was a police. They wanted to know where I'm based from. I'm going downtown one day, driving through a roadblock, and the soldier stopped me. The Zozo roadblock, and the soldier stopped me. And when he stopped me, I was like, he said, what do you do for a living? And I said, I'm a peanut vendor. And he said, come on, man, cut the crap, man. What do you do for a living? What station? What department are you?
Yes.
I said, yo, I am not a police, I am a peanut vendor. I said, okay, I remember. So he left there not thinking that I was actually a peanut vendor. I was just thinking I was a police for some reason. So that was something I had in mind. But then, you know, I kind of just get reluctant and just leave it alone. I think I would have been too strict. So I would have lost long. Yeah.
No, you know, before your entrepreneurial venture, you know, you had jobs in corporates and you work in production, sales, and elsewhere. What were some of the jobs you did, and how did it prepare you for entrepreneurship?
Well, my main job, and I think that's my first job I got, I was working at a juice factory. When I went to get the job straight out of high school, I was, because, you know, getting older, there are certain stuff that I needed to get. And I mean, I wanted money. I wanted to be independent. So when I went and looked the job, I spoke to the manager and she said to me that, boy, Brian, she know me from church. I said, Brian, you can live up Crete? I said, yeah, man, I can live up Crete. And she said, sure. I said, yeah, man, because she was very tender. I said, yes, man, I can live up Crete. And I went and there was a big crate there with bag juice, and I lift it up and put it across, lift up another one and pack it on top. And she said, all right, you get the job. Start working Thursday. I was working in the production area where I started tying the bag juice because the machine would drop the bag juice in the pan, and I tie like 12 in a bag and pop them in the crate by 6. And I was doing very well. And she came down about 4 weeks after she saw me working the machine by myself. And she said, well, you learn fast, man. I think you can run the juice machine, you know. And, you know, she moved me over to the juice machine and I start loading it with the boxes and I start operating it completely by myself. At one point, I was loading and packing. So the boxes run out, I go back and load, I come back and I pack them in the crate. And I think that prepared me for the whole production line where I'm at now. Because the whole cleanliness of the environment, you know, Bureau standard was coming around and we have to ensure that the place was clean. And from a tender age, I love my clean environment. So that was something that I admired about the whole production area, working there. So doing my own production now, it always take me back there, thinking about that
Your
job
foundation.
in particular. So right, so it sowed a seed in me to know what production is about and the timeline for demand of the products. So when you're preparing products to sell, it's in demand. So I remember there was some small bottle drink they called Sket, and it was really selling. It's like there wasn't enough, and then the bag orange juice came in, and it was really just running. So production was a fast pace right through. So that built me from then to allow me now. So moving from there, I went to another company where I was doing the production, and one day one of the delivery guys didn't come. The sideman on the truck didn't come to work, and the driver said to me, "Come go road with me." And I went on the truck with him, and the first thing I did when I went on the truck, I don't know anything about what we're doing. First time I'm going, he said to me, "Listen, take these papers and sort them out. These are the receipts of where we're going, location." So he started to tell me, and I started putting them in an order. So I using a system. I started putting them in order in based on the route where I was traveling. And he said to me, say, "Yeah, man, they like that." And the next day, he requested me to come back with him. The guy came to work and said, "Yo, what? You're going to work the production. They're going to make Brian roll me today." And from then, I've been on the road until I start to love it. And I start to do the deliveries with him. I start to organize the papers. I start telling him where we should go first. I start working out the route ideas and so forth. And I said, "Boy, you're really into this thing, And you say, "All right,
Wow.
You know what? You need to get your license." And so there we start talking about the license because I could drive somehow already, but I didn't have my driver's license until he said, "You need to get your license." And we moved from there until, I start to do the writing up of the receipts, start taking the orders and stuff like that. And the rest was just history. I was just there. And so for me now, being on the road as a peanut vendor in sales, that part of that journey there, working on the delivery truck, it also impacted me now to handle my customers. Because once I start out there doing the delivery, the customers just love me. I ensure that the water bottles was always clean, because it was the 5-gallon water bottles and the corporate offices and so forth, some homes. So I always ensure that the bottles are always clean, wipe them off, always ask them, "How is the day?" And so I start picking out tips. And then and when I share the tips with the driver, I must say to me, "Boy, me never used to get no tip from him, Me never used to get the money and never tell me, but me start share the tip with him and he must say, "Boy, how you do it?" And he admire that driver actually became the best man at my wedding 17 years ago. Yeah,
but, listening to you tell your story, Brian, I mean, it's a steady progression, fresh from high school, and you're a fast learner, you're hungry for this, and we see how you've been propelled stages by stages, step by step. But how did you get into the business of peanut business? How did that happen?
All right. I was born into peanut because
Explain it.
As I tell you, I was born into peanut. I think that was just a gift handed down from God through my grandfather to my father. As I said, my grandfather, the late Willie Jackson, he used to sell the peanuts, and he was known. They call him Christian from Mount James. So many persons be listening. All our folks would remember the name Christian. My father now married to my mother, and I think hard times and that whole entrepreneurial skill within him saw the peanuts and started selling it. He learned how to do it. He started off by selling the roasted one in the shell. That's the roasted peanut in the shell and salted peanuts on the raw one. Until later down, he started the peanut cake. So going to school, coming home from school, sometime he would have, when I was around 15, so he would have the peanuts to sell to the nine-nights in the area. And he would say, "Brian, go sell the peanut." I never wanted to go sell the peanut because the girls, them there. I look at me and that was kind of challenging. But then, I realized that the girls, them like the peanuts. So I say, "All right, here we go on. Me, I go sell the peanut in spite of what?" So I started selling the peanuts at the nine-nights, and I wasn't thinking about it as a business. I was just doing it because my father said me to do it. I was just being obedient. So I went out selling the peanuts, and after I got older, my first job, my second job, I met in an accident. And after the accident, at that time I have already married and I have 2 kids. And I was living in a rent house at the time, and things was getting extremely hard. My brother was selling the peanut in Golden Spring, my older brother at that time. He took it up from my father and was selling it in Golden Spring. And, you know, my wife said to me, Brian, you know what? You can sell the peanut in the cars. At that time, you know, I was coming from work, stopping there in Golden Spring, talk to him. So a person saw me driving home from work. I was driving a company vehicle, driving home from work in my Tarsif shirt and, you know, my pants need the press and so forth coming home from work. And now here I am now to go transcend from that to go start selling peanut on the road in the public where a lot of people know me. However, she told me that and I saw the need for it and I took it. My brother started to pay me $1,000 per day to sell the peanut for him. I went on the road and I started selling it. Then, you know, with my people skill, persons start to gravitate to me more. They start to just show me appreciation. And they just buying the peanuts. So till I say, you know what? I think I'm going to do this for myself, you know. So he started me out there in Golden Spring. I said, I'm going to go up to Stony because you have Golden Spring down the bottom and Stony up the top. So I went there and I said, all right.
Before you get into that, we're going to go for a quick time signal. Don't go anywhere.
No problem.
The time brought to you by IRIE-FM is?
It is now 12:45. All right. So continue, Brian.
Yeah. So while I was selling for him, a lady came to me and said, you know that there is a friend of mine that she's looking for an office assistant. And at that time, I think that the peanut wasn't good enough for me at the time. So I said, you know, I'm going to take the job. But that was my worst mistake ever. When I took that job, I fought some hungry days in that office because I had no money. I had to just ride from home to work. When I get there, no lunch. And I was just there working. And, you know, many a time when I come back home, I was just hungry. And, you know, I decided I was going back because when the second fortnight came and I was supposed to get paid, there were some issues. And I remember the first fortnight when I got paid, I had to run from Manningsville Road to catch the bank in New Kingston. And when I got to New Kingston, the bank closed at 4. When I got to New Kingston, 15 minutes after 4. And the security guard there, he was giving me a hard time. And then when I look across, I saw a familiar face. When I look, it was a security guard that was posted at another location where I used to do the delivery of the water. So when he saw me, I said, yo, my boss, you know, me have a check and me not have no money. I really need to get this check changed. And him talked to him supervisor and the supervisor let me in and me get the check changed. All right. You know, the second fortnight came and it was a problem. So me just quit there. So again, me just say, you know what, me now better go back. She called me and she said to me, if you come back to work, I'll be able to give you the check. I said, all right, me go back. I took that money, went downtown, and I bought some peanut. I made up my mind that I was going back. One thing with selling the peanut, I never got hungry on the road, or my family wasn't hungry at the time because it was always a small cash flow coming in. It was small, but something was definitely coming in. So I went downtown, I bought some peanuts, and I went to Stony. Prepared the peanuts, went to Stony. Then when I was selling the peanuts, I was so nervous. It felt like I was doing something strange in my whole entire life. Wow. I felt like I was in a strange place. I was so nervous. And person who doesn't pass in the bus look at me and say, Peanut, hello, Peanut Cake is all that's trying to sell the products. People just like look at me. And like nobody was buying. And I was like, no man. I go back home and I said to my wife, baby, I don't think I can do this again, you know. And you know, I say, you know what? I go to my bin, I get up and I say, I go back out of Stony. Took up the rock with the peanuts, and I went out to Stony and I said, you know, the first thing I'm going to do, I am going to sell that pride. I am going to sell that pride because I need money to survive. So I just kill that fear of people's eyes. I just kill that fear right away and decide, say, I'm going to move forward. And I start selling. A young lady that worked at the gas station in Stony Hill, Yasmin, she said to me, Brian, over here, see if you come sell the peanut, because she knew my father. Because my father used to sell the peanut in Golden Spring, so she knew my father. When she was going to school, she used to buy from him. So she called me over there and said, over here, so the people in there, man, come on. I start selling, you know, I went out, go to the clinic, start selling the peanuts. You know, I have a passion. I put the cinnamon leaf, the nutmeg, the ginger, the vanilla in the peanut cake. And peanut cake is a big seller. And person just love it. And, you know, as a result of that, by selling after 2 years of selling and selling, I decided that, you know what? People love the peanut. I think I need to have a brand name for this peanut, you know. I think I need to have a brand name for the business.
Before we get to the brand name, something that you mentioned that I wanted to go back to. You said that the first thing that you did was to kill fear, and you felt strange having to trade your dress pants and your long sleeve shirts now to go in the streets to sell your peanuts. Did you ever encounter any discrimination because of what you needed to do at the time? And how did you process that? And did it dampen your spirits any at all?
There was a lot of discrimination. Discrimination came left, right, and even from my very own family members. I can remember one of my family members specifically said to me that, listen, you're a face boy. You can't go sell a peanut. And I was like, what the hell is this person saying to me? And this person wasn't be able to help me at the time. And I went there, person said, boy, you're married to the people, them daughter. And that you're going to do, sell peanut, or peanut are going to help you, your family. People going to say, you could find something better than this to do. I mean, I went on the road, trying to sell people peanut. And then was like, a peanut you really left school gonna sell? And those stuff kind of just started bringing back the fear to me, all over again. I mean, I say, it's like, what am I doing something wrong? I mean, people just keep on calling me down, discrimination after discrimination. I mean, people say, boy, I'm not buying no peanut from you, because I go to hit you there, you had a sleep on. I mean, whole heap of discrimination. The discrimination, they came they came in like a flood. They came in left, right, and center. A lot of disrespect. But you know what I noticed? Is whenever you're going somewhere in life, you're on a journey, don't listen to the talkers. Like you said, the talkers, they are just there to bring you down. And that was just something that just came into my mind. I mean, maybe it was in that same context, but it was something similar. Because I knew what I wanted. And at that time, the peanut is all I had. And I remember a specific scripture where when Moses was going across the Red Sea, when God said to Moses, what is it that you have in your hand? I mean, Pharaoh was coming behind him and he needed an escape. So the peanut was my only escape route to survival at that time, because I had sent out so many applications and nobody responded. So I wanted to do something because I am a family man. At that time, I have like 2 kids and my wife. And I was paying rent, light bill, food needed to buy, everything. It was just, my world was tumbling down on me. But, with the discrimination, I pushed forward. I pushed forward until little by little, the conversation started to change. Persons start to say, because they see the persistence and they see things adding to the peanut wrap. Because when I started out, it was peanut cake, the raw peanut and the salted peanuts, and the one in the shell. They start to see gizzards added to the wrap. They start to see the coconut grater cake added to the rock, and they start to see more things added. So as a result of that, the conversation just started to change. It started to divert. And it was like, start inquiring out, this really pay you? This really pays? How do you survive? Persons start to come with a different, until persons actually start coming on and say, yo, not say, keep it up, you, I'm proud of you, I like how you clean, come a road. I like how your peanut them look clean on the rock, and I love how your clothes clean, and they admire that. You understand? So there now comes in the extra push for me to go further, because persons start to commend me on what I'm doing. So with the bad criticism and the good criticism, I put them together, right? And then I separate what I don't want, because 90% of the bad criticism push me to be where I'm at today, because I like to prove the doubters wrong. I like to prove people that you can do anything that you think about. If you dream it at any at all, you can always go towards it. It might not start off smooth, because selling the peanut didn't start off smooth at all. Even now at the middle part of it, right? Or quarter way in the journey, you find out you're still having challenges, because with everything come challenges. But when the challenges come, you have to can't focus on them. You have to focus on a way how to move forward. So the bad criticism and the good criticism, I took them and I mold them, right? And I build something that would push me over another level. So with that, I decided in my mind that.
With that, you made the decision to make it into a business, because that was going to be my next question now.
Right. Make it into a business.
And that was how. Tell us how that was. I guess that was how the idea for Nutsy's Treats was born. How did you come up with the name? Did you have a mentor? Did you have a team or somebody providing advice or inspiration? How did that part of it happen?
As I said about the criticism, the criticism was what I took, and this time my mind, no man, I have to do something great to this. I have to take this to another level and prove the haters that it can be done. So with the name, my surname is Walker. So I started off with Walker's Choice, right? At one point, I was packaging the products. And when I started packaging the product, there were some shops around West Rural St. Andrew that started the gizzards and the peanut cakes. And I found a name called Walker's Choice. After that, it didn't went well for me because the product was selling but wasn't fast enough, and the cash flow wasn't there to finance it, right? So I said, I pulled back from that, start to sell more on the street. I start employing people now to work for me. I had this guy used to work at the gas station and used to come to me and complain that, boy, not now, go on. And I said, all right, Maurice, I'm going to give you a job. And he said, yeah, man, we sell the peanut. And he came and he started selling the peanut for me. While he was selling the peanut, I was like in Alfred Tree because he was at Stony Hill. So I was in Alfred Tree. I started to find location like the tax office. I started to go down to like the hardwares. I started to go to like the bookstores, and persons would buy the peanut. So that become an extra income. And then I decided in my mind along that journey that, you know what, I'm going to change it. I'm going to go back to branding. But I'm going to do shirts. I'm going to register my business. I'm going to get a business account.
Wow.
Because I was thinking about all of those things. And I said, what? Because I was going to the bank doing the lodgement in my personal account because, I always like the feeling of heading to the bank to do my transaction, right? So I said, all right. So I sat down there and people always say, Nutsy. For yourself, peanut in Jamaica. Then when call it Nutsy. So I said, all right, Nutsy. And then the people love some say, yo, give me two of them treats there. And by how people come and order, people come and say, give me two of them there. Give me 2 peanut cake, give me 2 of the juke and soak. Some people just give them names. But the treat stands out because, it was just treating people with these old good Jamaican snacks. So I said, Nutsy's Treats. I said to my brother-in-law when I was at church, I don't know if you remember, me go brand the business. I'm one Nutsy's Treats. I say, spell Nutsy's for me. Because I had it Nutsy, Nutsy, something like that. And we are spelled together. We are say it's Nutsy's, Nutsies, Treats. And I remember call a guy and I say, I want a logo. And him say, we can't do the logo for you. You send something, come give me. I never like it. I never like it none at all. And I said, boy, something have to be done. I take my time again. I go back down. I went to a company I registered. And I reserved the name, and I went there, and I remember in the office the day with the peanut rack, and when I was going in there, the security guard was like, yo, you can't come here, come send a peanut, brother. You have to go to the door with that. I said, excuse me, I'm come for register my business. But you tell me I can't send a peanut. And this is my business.
Yeah.
This is my business. So everybody stood up and was looking at me now. And I said, yeah, the man come for register a business. You tell the man saying can't come in, come send him peanut. And I was like, yeah, security. I say, sure, see, business I go register. I say, of course. When I went up there, one of the young lady that did this said, sir, do you have a name for the business already? And I say, yes. She said, what is the name? I said, it's Nutsy's Treats. She said, what? I said, Nutsy's Treats. She said, okay, let me check if it is. I said, I check. I reserve it already. So it is there for me. I just come to do the registration. And she was amazed by that. And she was like, she said, hold on, you said. She started fasting my business on and she said, hold on, you said the peanut. Come and tell you, I was always clean.
Hold that thought. I mean, the conversation is going absolutely awesome, and we have Cashpot coming up. So listen up your top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and Cashpot lunchtime draws up next.
When me use Island Fresh with aloe vera, it make me skin feel so much smoother. So if you want to feel better and smell fresher, use Island Fresh with aloe vera.
Manufactured by Island Products, 934-0666.
The time is
It is now 12:59. We are standing by. Listen up. Your top draw dollars. Pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pot lunchtime draws up next.
Reggae in the morning, reggae in the evening, reggae at night time on Irie Radio.
Ventures Lottery Games. This could be your lucky day. Get your tickets out and let the games begin.
Good afternoon. It's Thursday, May 5, 2022. I'm Jolene, and welcome to this afternoon's Supreme Ventures live game draw. Now, before we begin, here's a quick look at our mid-morning winning numbers. Remember, all Supreme Ventures live game draws are being supervised by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission and observed by the independent auditing firm PwC. Now let's put some money in your top draw. This afternoon's jackpot is $600,000. Here are the winning top draw numbers, and good luck. And the first top draw number for this afternoon is 14. The second top draw number is 2. The third top draw number is 4. And following 4, we have 13. And the final top draw number for $600,000 is 16. And now let's pick your play with our dollars game. I hope you're feeling lucky, so get those tickets out. And the first winning dollars number for this afternoon is 18. The second winning dollars number is 24. The third winning dollars number is number 2. And following 2, we have 12. And coming down is 31. And following 31 is 22. Now I do hope you have your tickets out, because here comes number 34. And following 34, we have 3. Next up is 35. And following 35, what will it be? We have 11. And coming down is 16. And now for the final dollars number, we have 29. Now for some easy winnings with our Pick 2 game, let's play. And the first Pick 2 number is 30. The second Pick 2 number is 32. Once again, the winning Pick 2 numbers are 30 and 32. Up next, you can play 3 ways. It's our Pick 3 game. And the first Pick 3 number is 5. The second Pick 3 number is 4. And the third and final Pick 3 number is 9. Once again, the winning Pick 3 numbers are 5, 4, and 9. Now let's turn up the winnings with Pick 4. And the first Pick 4 number for this afternoon is 1. The second Pick 4 number is 3. The third Pick 4 number, what will it be? We have 6. And the fourth and final Pick 4 number is 0. Once again, the winning Pick 4 numbers are 1, 3, 6, and 0. It's easy for wins, so let's heat things up with Hot Pick. And the winning Hot Pick number is 7. Congratulations to all Hot Pick winners. Again, the winning number is 7. Cashpot Money Trainer Run, and this week you can win $290 for every $10 winning Cashpot bets. Let's get ready to play our Cashpot game for Thursday, May 5, 2022. You live to play it, but can you win it? Get ready to be a big Cashpot winner. Now let's see what the winning Cashpot number will be. And this afternoon's winning Cashpot number is 36. Congratulations to all Cashpot winners. Again, the winning number is 36. It's now time for some mega winnings, so good luck. And what do we have for this afternoon? It's coming up. What will it be? And a white ball has been selected. Go Mega 6 times per day for more chances to win big. Again, the winning Cashpot number is 36. The lucky mark is Old Lady, and a white ball was selected for Pick 3, Pick 4 Cashpot, and Hot Pick. Now let's take a look at this afternoon's winning numbers. Congratulations to everyone who won. Join us again at 3 p.m. for more games you love to play. I'm Jolene. Have a supreme afternoon.
Hope you were a big winner. Play your favorite Supreme Ventures games every day and tune in for our live draw 6 times a day at 8:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m. and 8:25 p.m. on this station. Supreme Ventures, making winners every day.
That was the lunchtime top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick and cash pot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Join us again at 3 p.m. for another chance to win in hot pick and cash pot special pot draws. Now, Brian, before we went into the cash pot break, you were in the middle of talking to us about going to get your business registered and, just how you were initially barred by the security guard and you did your research prior. Can you remember your first big sale as Nutsy Streets?
My first big sale at Nutsy Street was a couple years ago. I was at home. I went to I went to Kingston Night Market on the Lawn, Jamaica Made Christmas. I've been going to a few of these places because I had features in the Star and in the Observer a couple of times at these pop-up events that I used to attend over the years. And I can remember one of the year I was here. It would come down to December and I was at home and I got a call and I said, hello. And the person said, hello, is this Nutsy? And I said, yes, it is. And she said, good. My name is, she gave me her name and I'm calling from Juicy Patties. I said, Juicy Patties? And she said, yes. We would like to have you doing some products for us. And I said, what type of products are you talking about? And she said, you do the gizadas and the coconut drops and the greater cake. And I said, oh, those products. She said, yes, what other product I was talking about? I was like, no, so I just wanted to make sure that we're on the right page. And she went and she emailed me what she wanted, how many persons, and I set her up with a price list and I set her up with an invoice and she said, okay, Mr. Walker, proceed. And the deliveries it was on point and I spoke to my wife about it. Because me and my wife are in the kitchen, period. Me and my wife in the kitchen daily. My wife,
she helps out
she's my
as well.
source.
Okay.
My wife, she is my source, and there's a saying behind every successful man, there's a strong black woman, something like so. And she is my source of strength. She's willing, she's respectful, she's humble, and she's just caring. And when I went to her and I said, baby girl, we have an order. And she said, yeah. And when I put the list before her, she said, what? How are we gonna do this? And I said, God will provide. And I mean, we said, all right, we start planning out. And, I went to my suppliers. I thought I need extra at the time. And, at that time I had a little money extra. And I went there and I got the supplies, I got the goods. And we came on, it took 2 days. And we just beat the order bad. We just went there and we just set up, cut up the coconuts. We grated the coconut for the greater cake. We prepped the peanut cake, the gizadas. We pinched at one point in time. She pinched until her finger then feel numb on me. I said, listen, I take a break and I pinch the rest. And, she took a break and she pinched. I will come back and I made the delivery that Saturday morning, on time, prompt. And I got there to Constant Spring and she picked it up and she was like, very good. And she came back with the thumbs up and then it was repeated. And I was extremely happy for that. So
wow,
that came
that's
into
awesome.
me. When that came into me, it was an extraordinary moment for me in my business. I mean, I was recognized by one of the biggest food giants in Jamaica. So I was like, why me? And, I just took it with every pride and say, yes, it is this is it. But, before I was trying to tell you about when I went to company of register and trying to get the business registered. And when the lady, when she saw me and I told her the name, and she was like, oh, you came up with that name. That name is so unique and that name suit the business and all of that. So, the journey was, it have potholes, but you can make it. You have to slow down on some of the potholes. Some of the potholes, them you have to drop in, Some of the potholes, them you have to drop, boom, and just say, Lord, I hope nothing happened to my vehicle. But you have to continue on the journey. Some of them you can skip, some you can't.
Brian, do you feel though, Brian, that based on what you explained, how things had gotten hard, the decision that you had to make, do you feel like because of your wife and how she is and how understanding she is, that it allowed you to take on this venture and, from it, just selling peanuts in the streets, something beautiful was born. Do you think had it not been for her support and understanding and guiding you through the process, that it could have been a different outcome?
It would have been, I don't know where it would have been, and I don't want to know, but she, as I said before, man, she's positive when it comes down to that. And she have faith in me. And you see, when you have one individual that has faith in you when you're going downhill, that one individual that has faith in you can encourage you so much to pull through and rise on top. And that's what she did. She encouraged me and she played every part of it. So I would say yes. Without her motivation, I don't think I'll be selling the peanuts, honestly, because she was she is my wife. She's a main girl. I understand she's the main person at that time that I was listening to for every instruction, every encouragement. So when she said that, I said, all right, you don't have a problem with it. I don't care who have a problem with it. So I'm going to do it. Because, and the funny thing, her mother in Portland used to sell the peanuts too, You understand? Her mother in Portland used to sell the peanuts. They used to do the peanuts on a smaller scale and selling it. So when we got together and we decided to sell the peanut, it was just pure love. We just enjoy working with each other in the kitchen day by day and ensuring that this product. I will listen to my customers and I go on the road. All right, I'll do the gizzards, they don't like it this way. I said, all right, baby girl, they don't like it this way. They don't like the peanut cake. And a lot of persons really give me and my brother thumbs up for how we do the peanut cake. They call it the honeycomb because it has less sugar. Usually persons are accustomed to the peanut cake with this big batch of sugar under the bottom.
Lump of sugar.
Our peanut cakes are not like that. You understand? Persons can actually say it's not sweet. You can taste the flavor. You can taste the sweetener in it, but it's not sweet in an extended way of eating sugar. So it is peanuts. So, my journey coming along in this, it's let me tell you, 1 hour cannot tell all of the good things that we have to talk about.
Absolutely. But, listening to you talk, I kind of get an idea as it relates to, you try to get constant and immediate feedback from your customers and you give them what they want. What is your stance as it relates to quality?
Quality, you can't mess with quality. Quality is what people love to buy. And once you have quality, you're going to have your customers keep coming back. They would come to Stony and there are other peanut vendors there and they will look around. I have had several persons out there selling for me. That was one of the reasons why I started to put sticker on the peanut cakes out there. Before all of that, I said, how may I get some labels? And I have a friend. She had a little print shop in Stony Hill. It's called Superb Graphics and Prints. And when I went to her, I said, Trish, I need some labels. And she said, I'm going to start out something for you. And she did some crack and peel, some small one for me, and I started put them on the bag. So I said, this is my company, print my shirts. So I started to tell my customers, look out for the logo. And look out for the logo on the guy's shirt and look out for it on the peanuts. Because they will come to Stony Hill. I put somebody there to sell the peanuts. They come and they see the rack, they're not buying it. They're not gonna buy it because one time this guy, he bought 4 peanut cakes from me and he went home and he gave it to his wife and she ate it. And cause she sent him to buy it. The other day he came back and he never see me and he buy it from another guy. When he brought that peanut home to her, she said, and I'm buying you buy this from, carry it back. I don't want this. So he came back to me in the car and he looked from my rack. And him look on the peanut cake, them when I buy him say, oh, she know the difference. I say, I'm not eat it. Him say, oh, she know the difference, ma. What we do, make she know the difference. And me, I said, my customers know quality. That was the exact word I said to him. And so I said, boy, you really know your stuff, because my wife, she not eat foolishness now. And let me tell you something, when she buy it, matter of fact, she never bite it. By the time she start pull the bag, and she said, no, man, this don't smell right. She not getting that aroma that she get from Nutty Street peanut cake. Just to bring it back, because as I tell you, you have some key ingredients in it to make the peanut cake tasty. And if you do not add those, it doesn't make no sense to sell a product. So my point on quality is 100%.
No, Brian, you're not just a street vendor. You're an entrepreneur.
Right.
From branding of your products to the presentation, and like you just spoke about the taste. Nuts' Treats is clearly a cut above the rest. Reflecting, did you ever thought that Nuts' Treats would become the brand that it is now?
Well, it's not where I want it to be yet. So where it is now, it is in the right direction. It's my vision. It's in the part of my vision. So it has so much potential that it is directly in the part, because anything I started, I look for an excellent ending, right? So, or excellent journey, because I am very optimistical when it comes on to life. I think about the glass being half full instead of half empty. And I think about whatever little you have, much is in it, than without you have none at all. So I always give God thanks for the little. So where Nuts' Street is now, it is heading in that right direction of my vision.
All right, let's go for a quick time signal. Soon come back.
Are you a tourism worker? Then sign up for the Ministry of Tourism's innovative Tourism Workers Pension Scheme and retire in comfort. The time by the Ministry of Tourism is...
It is now 1:15. So, Brian, you spoke briefly, like Nuts' Street is not where you want it to be, and you talk of your vision. You have been doing this for some 17 years. What is the ultimate vision for Nuts' Streets?
All right. The ultimate vision for Nuts' Street is for Nuts' Street to become that brand that do more than just peanut cakes and gizzards and birthday cake. Anything that has to do with or local confectionery area, I want to be in that. I mean, I have peanuts, and so many things can come from peanut. I start to experiment on peanut oil. I start to experiment on coconut flour. So those are stuff that we are looking forward to get from this brand that we're in, because our two main products are coconuts and peanuts. And peanuts and coconut, there are so many things that you can get from these products. And to tell you the truth, for the vending stalls, I would love to have a vending stall right across the corporate area, that persons can come and get these fresh products to take back. Because when persons come to Jamaica, and they're going back overseas, and for the Jamaica Day, they hunt me down to get these products, because what they can guarantee that whatever they're getting is always fresh. A lady told me last night, she came to me and she bought 25 peanut cake, and she said to me, I am going to send these to France. My sister is in France. She knew you a long time ago, and she wanted these peanut cake. I can remember the sister. And she said, if it's not the guy from Stony, she don't know your name, but she described you to me, and I know it's you. So, and she said, if it's not him, please do not buy them. So, I am looking forward to be able to sell my products directly from any one of those online platforms, whether it's Amazon, eBay, right? So there's a lot of stuff that I've been thinking about to go forward, because, these products can be shipped. I went to New York last year before last, and I did some boxes, Nutsy box. And let me tell you, when I post them, the Nutsy box contain of three coconut drops, 3 coconut gizzards, 3 greater cake, and 3 peanut cake. And when I packaged those, I went on Amazon, bought some boxes, I believe it's print, by my friend there, Trish from Super Printers. And when she print the labels, and I took them with me, and I started selling the products, and I started to advertise them. I don't know how to get paid, because I don't have a Zelle nor a Cash App, but my sister does. So I just give them my sister. My sister sees some money coming into her account, and she said, Brian, where the money come from? What is money for? And I said, no, man, I don't send out your account to be paid because I'm selling the Nutsy box. And she said, yes. When I got there and started baking up a storm in her kitchen, she didn't feel any way. She just let me go loose, free if it does what I want to do. And, persons love it. I have some friends in Poughkeepsie, and they just said, all right, I want 4 boxes, I want 5 boxes. So these are stuff that persons really, I never realized how much you have persons who long for a taste of home when they are overseas. They are longing for a taste of home. I remember I have this customer that came to me, bought some stuff. He's taking them back to Africa. I mean, I was like, whoa, you know, and when he went back to Africa, he sent me a video showing me, said, boy, we unwrap the peanut them now, we're going to eat them. And, you know, and it was just amazing. Tears come from my eye, man.
You know, Brian, you have me just smiling ear to ear and just having you talk and tell your story and just go at length because
thank you very much,
you're such a visionary. I mean, here it is right across Jamaica. You have Manas, you have a Notsi. You have a Notsi, you have people doing it. But here it is, you have taken something and you have made it grand. And the vision is even bigger. And I absolutely respect and appreciate and love that to the fullest. Now, Notsi's Treats, you are the official snack for Street Food Saturdays, which is a riverside picnic. Tell us about this partnership.
All right. So Street Food Saturdays reach out to me and they love the products, right? They wanted them. They started off with the mini gizzardas, mini grater cakes, until the salted caramel peanut. That is my newest product. It has not yet reached the Stone Hill or anywhere. It's only available at Street Food Saturdays, exclusively at Street Food Saturdays. So what I do is the caramel peanut is a hit at Street Food Saturdays. I am the official treats at Street Food Saturdays, and Street Food Saturdays is located in my barn ground in Mount James. Right, it's at the river, and it happens 3 times per month, and it is a river dining pop-up restaurant.
Experience.
We dine in the river with the ambience of the water and the ambience of the surrounding, the environment. It's just creative, and it's just somewhere that you have to experience it. You have to be there. That nobody can tell you about the experience. You have to come and experience it for yourself.
In searching for you, and you know, when I came across your page across social media platform, it was my husband who actually brought it to my attention, and I checked it out and I saw even the Street Food Saturdays, and I'm like, oh wow, I would absolutely love this experience because, you know, it's just so natural, so mystic, you know, have dining, the natural, the river is flowing and that kind of vibe. So, you know, really awesome. And just to talk about your branding and just how you take on the social media platforms in the digital space, I see where you absolutely leave nothing to chance. You capitalize on every area to ensure that Notsi's Treats is out there and persons can get the visuals. How did you get into that? And do you actually have a team, or you do everything yourself? The social media element of it, in the kitchen, all the area, selling in the streets well?
All right. Right now, it's me, my wife, and my kids. I have a 17-year-old, I have a 15-year-old, 11, and a 7-year-old, and there's something for everybody to do in the business at home. My wife and I are the main person, the cooking and the packaging and the wrapping out and all of that. She, as I said to you, she is my right and my left and my head, my back, my hands, everything. So the social, I manage my Instagram account, and I realize sometimes I feel slack up on it. I'm not doing much, you know, because I just kind of lay back sometimes. But I manage the Instagram account, and I realized when I started to engage with customers and the platform, you know, I started just posting random pictures and people start liking it. And that's where I got my biggest sale, from Instagram. Wow. You know, that's where I got my youth. That's how they found me, on Instagram, and that's how you found me too. So I mean, Instagram, it's once you have a business, and Instagram is a platform that you can go on and add your products and your services, right? So persons can reach out to you. And when person does call me and does all the stuff because of the old page. Person will call me and said, who manage your Instagram account for you? I was like, okay, I manage it. And I was like, really? Like you? And you know, so I'll go back and I say, what they're raving about? And it's just that the context on the post and the editing of the pictures and stuff like that. So it's just amazing. You just have to just be consistent on what you do and try not to slack off.
Messages are already coming in through IRFM's WhatsApp line, and persons are saying, where can I find these streets? One person said, wait, are the you that with the purple shirt with the peanut logo?
Yeah, man, you see, man.
Right. So for persons listening right now, where can they find your treats and where, your location?
Well, I am in Stonier, St. Andrew. That's from Constant Spring up to Stonier Square. And my treats, you can contact me on Facebook at Nazi Street Jamaica. You can contact me on Instagram at Nazi Streets. And if you want the caramel peanut, salted peanut, it is available at Street Food Saturdays, directly at Street Food Saturdays. And you can call me. My number is 394-6992. You can email me at Nazi Street Jamaica. And I am on social media. So if you need to get anything, but whatever you need to order it a day before, because as I said, fresh is my policy. I'm not selling you anything which is baked 4 days ago. I am not into that. It has to bake a day before, and guarantee after it's baked a day before, it can last up to 20 days, 25 days fresh. But I like to hand it in your hand fresh, so when you get it, you can smell that sweet aroma. Being person we just
don't call Brian. No, wait, he's still live. But your everybody's journey is different, and like you said, you've gone through it. You've been through your hardships. You've been through your challenging times, and you're able to turn the negatives into a positive, and from that, the birth of Nazi Streets. But what life lessons do you share with your children when you have conversations with them about life and the road to success and them pursuing their dreams?
Whoa. There's so much. I always have passionate conversations with my, especially my boys. I mean, because when I realize in the society today, the young men are not focused. They are distracted by the type of song that they listen, and they're distracted by, just the influence of others. They are taking influence from their same peer. And when I learned when I was young, I have to be around the older men who have learned so they can teach me what I am going to expect in the future. Because the past, whatever they learn in the past, some of it might occur in the present. So when I listen to them, then I learn how to travel. So for me and my boys, I always tell them, let me tell you something. You have to work for what you want. And giving up is not an option. Whatever you started, try and see through to the end. My little girl, I said, listen, pay attention to whatever detail, pay attention to whatever information is given. Because when you do that, then you'll be able to make less mistakes. You will make mistakes, but when you pay attention, you'll be able to make less mistakes. So for me, I like to encourage them and stay in focus on what they do. I mean, the phone is ringing like crazy. For me, I like to teach them to stay focused, be respectful, be caring, be loving, because those are some of the stuff that I was taught when I was growing up. You understand? So I'm trying to implement that in their lifetime right now, to encourage them and say, yo, you have to stay focused, When you can't just take things to chance, you have to stay focused and pay attention to whatever you're doing. So I love to encourage them to stay positive. So nutshell, just to stay positive.
And, in closing, Brian, with some 2 minutes remaining, peanuts are like the unofficial snacks in Jamaica, especially during live events or just events in general. What business advice would you give to street vendors or individuals selling a similar product, or have a larger dream, but then this is just where they are now?
All right. Tell you the truth. I always say to them, listen, take your time and prepare your product. Take your time and prepare your product. That's key. Take your time, don't rush, because something I picked up a few months ago is slow, is the fastest route to get to where you want to go. So when you take your time and prepare whatever you're doing, it's key. And, don't sell your customers cheap. Don't think about the money, because when you think about the money, as something goes up, you want to raise it. You're driving away customers. Eventually, things have to be increased because things are increasing. When I just started out, I used to pay like $3,000 for a bag of sugar. Now a bag of sugar is like almost $14,000. You understand? And So you can't just jump and increase. You have to build a relationship with your customers. So try build a relationship with your customers. Don't shortchange them on the flavor, and just to be consistent and be available. So if you have a social media account, make sure your telephone number is there. You don't need to go dig up anywhere and find it. Make sure your telephone number is there. Make sure you post as often as you can, and just to be consistent in what you're doing.
Wow, sound advice. Be consistent in whatever it is that you're doing. Brian Walker, Nutsy Street CEO, thank you so much for talking with us and sharing your journey. Interesting journey, awesome journey. You know, with this conversation today, I was just smiling a lot and nodding through most of the conversation. The messages are coming in for you. This one says, this man is so good. Blessings every time.
Nobody want to plant the can. Everybody want to read the bar.
Queen Eugenia says, where can I find these trees?
Next man, you are deep in pan.
This one says, good afternoon, Kishima. It's Irie Muma locked in. Great interview with Brian. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers at Irie FM. Thank you so much, Irie Muma. And happy Mother's Day to you too.
I was looking to start, just a little ease off. No one would help me push that old and cat. Them a laugh, never take me serious. So many goals.
This one says, a unique, inspirational overview. Large up Brian, you know, a visionary entrepreneur. His business will be going far. Guidance. That's coming from Ambleton Ray.
The frustration, instead them want to ride up on them bread about.
This one says, Brian, just make me get up and start making my banana bread for sale tomorrow. What you mean?
Yeah, man.
Everybody want to read the bar.
Love that.
Who you are go blame it on when he's a next man you are.
This one says, what an informative, productive and inspirational interview. Big up yourself, Mr. Walker. You are a true motivator. It's coming from Carrie. Carly Patrick City said, Nutsy, big up yourself, you know. I am here considering to sell your products in my establishment. Look at that.
Reach out to me. Check me out on Instagram.
This is my comfort.
This one says, big up yourself, Brian. Very inspiring, you know.
Man who walk this land with an intention.
This one says, Brian Walker is an example to people right now.
Meditation.
Peanut got him name, you know. Bigger Flex, a Linstead, East
Peanut
Avenue.
To read the band.
Martha the Barber in Augustown say, hard work are the key to success in everything you do. Pick up yourself.
You want to plant the can. Everybody want to read the band.
This one says, wow, he opened my eyes. Humble young man, you know. No stopping him. I am in.
Morning, never drink no tea.
Big up yourself. I am motivated.
Never seen no one
Right?
to stress me and me journey. No, me make a change.
This one says, good afternoon, Kish. Real hustler, you know. Absolutely love it.
No mind if me stall. Them no business if me back against the wall.
T in Mansfield said, big up yourself, you know, Brian.
Seems like there ain't no
Big
love
up, man.
after
Big up.
all.
Thank you for
Nobody
tuning in.
want to plant the can.
This one says, what a story from grassroots to success. Mr. Walker now start run with him business in success. Moving on. Road to success. Hashtag is Shanga Beng and the Spanish Town family.
Read the band.
Lily out of Islington say, look here, Brian, you are so gifted. More strength to you, you know. Pick up yourself.
Just a little ease off. No one would help me push this. Yo go yo.
Want to say again a big thank you to Brian Walker, CEO of Nutsy Streets.
Jaja is the only way.